They're expressing their misgivings about your candidature. Firstly, they are concerned over the fact that you've been a lawyer for His Excellency President William Ruto, and who is likely to be a candidate in the elections of 2027. The fear that these Kenyans have is that in the event that you're successful and you join the 6 judges in the Supreme Court, and then thereafter there is a petition challenging presidential elections for the year 2027, their fear is that you are likely not to be impartial. What do you have to say to this?
Okay, so first of all, it is true I have represented him. May I say that I intend to be as objective and neutral in my discharge of my functions as a judge. And so the fear is, well, I can't say it is ill-informed. I can understand the concerns, but I just want to give the assurance that I would be fair and I would only deal with facts and the law. I would also like to say 2 other things, commissioners. The first one is I am aware that that concern has been, and that's why I was saying I have suspicions that of what the letter is, and I must complain that you didn't share the letter with me so that I would have a more structured answer to the question. But let me just answer to this effect. That I have looked at the totality of judges, right from the High Court, Court of Appeal to Supreme Court. Looking at the totality of them, you would almost say about 50% of them were lawyers. And so for me to be told that you have a disadvantage because you represented a particular individual would be a borderline case of discrimination, because I would be being treated differently just because of the type of the client I represented, when in fact every other person who escalated to the status of a judge who was an advocate is not being subjected to the same disadvantage. And so, commissioners, with a lot of humility, I would pray that first of all, you look at me for what I stand for, integrity, fairness, and justice, and that I will apply the law fairly and objectively. But secondly, that to distinguish me just because of one client, a criteria that has not been applied to other candidates who applied to be judges, would probably not be quite fair. And lastly is that there are measures, if anybody is concerned about my sitting in the bench and as justifiable cause, there are provisions for how that can be handled, including recusal, and I'm aware that some presidential petitions have been done with less than the totality of the 7 Supreme Court judges. And the Supreme Court's workload is not focused or limited to only presidential petition. There are other work assignments that the Supreme Court has. And so if it were to be such a significant and weighty concern, I would say there is that option also for recusal. For all those reasons, commissioners, I pray that that should not be used to my disadvantage in this interview. I am glad to answer any specific issues that arise around that issue.